Hello, hello. Welcome, everyone. I'm so glad you're joining us today. Hi, Barbara. Hi, Stephanie.
Well, hello there, Tim, and hello, Stephanie. So
Welcome
I'm
to
really
Women.
looking. Yeah, go ahead, Tim. You kick it off.
Well, I'll say welcome to Women Wednesdays. We're so glad that many of you will be joining us online today. We're so glad we've heard you. We've heard you say, "Where's Women Wednesdays? We want more." And we are working on some great things for this fall. But right now, we are excited to be joining with CSWG for this conversation today. Barbara?
Right. So I'm really excited about this conversation today. So if you followed Women Wednesdays, you know we've talked a lot about women in the skilled trades because it's an incredible field of opportunity. There's shortages of women, but the field is growing and you just want to see more women. But the very same thing is true for women in STEM, women in science and technology, engineering, mathematics, all of those fields. And so when Stephanie with the Commission on the Status of Women and Girls reached out, we absolutely want to put the same sort of energy we put to getting more women in the skilled trades and that sort of thing to getting more women in STEM. I mean, they're high paying jobs in great demand, and the numbers of women and their diversity there is lower. So why not go ahead and build that up? So take it away, Stephanie. Let's hear from you. And you got your little, your most
Yeah,
special person in the
this,
world there with you.
thank you so much, Tam and Barbara. Can you say hi, Paisley?
Hello.
Yeah, say hi. Say hi. You can wave to yourself. I know. Well, thanks for having us. The commission is super excited about having this opportunity to start the conversation. And Paisley is just as excited. And this is how we multitask as women in the world, right? So
Absolutely.
I just want to go ahead and jump right in because we have an amazing panel to get started. And I'll do a brief introduction, and then Tam, our master wizard of technology behind the scenes, will be able to come on. And so I'm going to just introduce real quick our moderator for today, who is Dr. Faye Jones. She's a faculty researcher. Hey, did you want to introduce Dr. Faye? You want to introduce Dr. Faye? Okay. All right, you help mommy. Dr. Faye, this is the cuteness overload. She's a faculty researcher. Okay, Paisley, can you help mommy? Help mommy. There we go. At the College of Communications and Information at Florida State. And her research interest includes STEM student outcomes and exploration for student pathways. Okay, 1 second. I'm sorry. This is real life. We don't discriminate.
No.
So here we go. Look, this is Paisley, and you like to look at Paisley in video. She's going to look at herself. All right. So Dr. Faye is amazing, and she focuses on student pathways through institutional research and data analytics. She's the associate director of the FSU Information Institute, where she serves as co-principal investigator and on several federally funded research grants. Isn't that exciting about Dr. Faye? Including the NSF project backtracking CTE pathways. That one's
bring her, bring her on, Tam.
Yeah, Tam, if you would like to take over, I apologize. We're gonna go on mute and come back in just a second.
I am sure that was your most memorable introduction by far. Let me go ahead and unmute you. It's so great to have you here.
I am so excited to be here. I have a 9-year-old right now, and sometimes still she makes things less than easy for me during the most inopportune times, right? So, but anyway, I just enjoyed that introduction. Actually, you're right. I'll never forget that, and it's certainly one of the highlights. But I want to just take a moment. I truly feel the love here on Women Wednesdays, and thank you to CSWG in particular Jennifer, to Stephanie, to Barbara, and to you, Tam, for making this all possible. I'm so excited about what's to come. But yes, I'm a faculty researcher at Florida State University. I work a lot in STEM pathways and exploring the pathways of our students and what really are the facilitators and the hindrances that allow them to succeed in this area that we call STEM. It's such a huge aspect of our economic development and our national security, quite frankly. And so we really want to look at and explore women in these fields. And so if you don't mind, I have a PowerPoint, Tam, that I really wanted to queue up because I wanted to share a few things before I introduce the panel of students that I brought with me who can tell the story much better than I could. But I want to share a little bit about the program that we have, which is the Florida State University iCamp. And so next slide, please.
And Barbara and I will let you take it away while you share. We'll be back.
Okay, sure. Absolutely. Thank you so much. Awesome. And so, of course, the iCamp is actually co-founded and was co-founded by Eve Brandery and myself. Eve is the Associate Dean at the College of Communication and Information, and we work jointly to put together a very dynamic and foundational building camp for students in the Leon County area, but also the Wakulla, Gadsden, etc. Next slide, please. So a few things that we want to focus on is why are we here? Why is this area so important? And so the data really shows where we're moving and where we've gone as it relates to the areas of science and engineering, and knowing that technology is within the umbrella of science. But if you look here at the 4 areas here in terms of degrees, you'll see at the associate's degree level, which is the blue line, women are making lots of gains, right? So you can see in the dark blue navy line that you can see from 2011 to 2020 that we have been increasing in the number of women in these fields. Now, when you look at the next level up, which is the baccalaureate degree, that number actually seems like it's not done much. It really hasn't moved that much from in the last 10 years, right? So we know that at the undergraduate level, we really still have work to do. All this work that's been done to increase the number of women in STEM, and you see it teeters and goes down and up, and really there's parity. And when we look at the master's level, we see also this same dynamic of stagnation almost. And then, of course, at the doctoral level, of course, that is even worse. As we can see, the number of women also has stagnated in SNE in the past 10 years, which there's something to be said about what are we doing about this and what needs to be done. Next slide, please. If we want to go and look deeper into the actual fields, you can kind of see here orange representing 2011, blue representing 2020. And in the social sciences, you see that not much has changed, although there has been a little bit of increase in the social and behavioral sciences of women. But also in the agricultural and biological sciences, you've seen the most increases. So in the areas of biology, agriculture, you see a huge increase in the past 10 years of women in these fields. And of course, in the physical and earth sciences, also, you can see the number of women slightly increasing, mostly at the baccalaureate and even in the doctoral level, but not so much in the master's degree. But it is here in computing and in engineering where less than 25% of those in these fields are comprised of women. That is a quarter. And if you can see, we have made gains in math and computing. So very little, but some gains. I guess 26 is better than 25 25, for example, in bachelor's, or at the doctoral level, 26 as opposed to 24. But still, it's just a quarter of women in these fields. And in engineering, we have seen many, many gains, but yet not sufficient when we know that almost half of the US population is comprised of women. So we do have a huge percentage point gap that we need to start closing. Next slide, please. Awesome. And so we at Florida State University wanted to really start looking at the pipelines here in our local areas, knowing that we may not be able to fix the problem entirely, but certainly in our area, we can provide students with some of the different curricula and different types of programmatic options that they need, because perhaps they may not have these programs in their schools. Perhaps they don't have, a tech specific, computing specific program or pathway at their school. And perhaps what they need is experiential learning as a summer camp or a summer experience of some sort. Next slide, please. And so what we did was we decided to submit a proposal to the Army Educational Outreach Program, which provides funding to engage students in these types of experiences. And specifically, our program is called Unite. And specifically what that does is it's specifically for grades 9 through 12, and those who might feel like they had the potential to be in these fields and just need additional opportunities, engagement in these areas. And so with funds from the Army Educational Outreach Program and also the Technology Student Association, we've been able to integrate our students into a fundamental research, technology opportunities, and of course, skill development in the areas of computing and information technology. This is now going to be our 8th year, and we just wrapped up our 7th year this summer. Next, please. Of course, part of the strategies, and that's what we're here to talk about today, are strategies that help us to increase the number of women in the field. Well, the first step is you have to have great instructors. Right? We ensure that from our own information school, we selected, and of course our college, we selected some award-winning teachers who are able to instruct at the highest level. In fact, a lot of the programming that we use for our students are at the collegiate level. So we have a very high standard for our students, and we very much expect for them to at least understand and develop in fundamental skills of being technologists in the areas of IT, of course, but also computer science and of course engineering. So we do give them a curricula that is rigorous intentionally. Next, please. Of course, we also ensure that we have both foundational skills. For example, in 2024, this past summer, we had foundational skills in Python, because coding is something that we must continue to strive and improve on and develop, okay? But also trending areas, okay? So areas that we know will capture their interests, like game design, okay? So not that they're playing games, but that they're actually creating games. We had graphic design and data mining to learn about all the different data that's out there that they can do things with. But also past topics have included things from mobile apps. And one of my greatest stories for mobile apps is a student who has a family and they actually sell eggs on their farm. Well, she created a mobile app to help her parents sell eggs online. It was absolutely fabulous, right? We had another student in web design who created a website for her mother so that she could sell her hair products. So here we are looking at not only developing fundamental skills, but also assisting families at pursuing their entrepreneurial endeavors, which is awesome. We're looking forward to things like artificial intelligence next summer and other more futuristically significant areas of development for our students in the next coming summer. So look out on our website and social media. Next, please. Another strategy that we use is to not only have, of course, our students in an area that is filled with the collegiate life and giving them those opportunities, but also to allow current computer science, information technology, and other STEM majors already here the opportunity to work with those students. Because what we're trying to do is develop a pathway. We're trying to develop a pipeline of students who start out in high school and are active as soon as they come to campus. By them, these college ambassadors then take on leadership skills and instructing, leadership skills and teaching in front of these other students, coordinating different types of activities, becoming part of larger networks where we go to present with to employers, etc. So what we do here is now we are infusing leadership promise, skill development, experiential learning of not only the students who are coming into camp, but the pairing of them with current college students who can then inform and help them along the way. It's quite fascinating to watch them go to lunch together, ask questions of these college ambassadors, but also for the college ambassadors to see where they once were and provide that motivation to students. Next slide, please. Social media, right? One of the things that we do a lot of is take lots of pictures, share lots of accomplishments of our students. Why? Well, not only for the students to kind of share, because students themselves are our best advocates. If you do a program well, these students will talk. These students will post. These students will talk about all of these others. And we were completely sold out this summer. We had so many on the waiting list, and we were unable to fill all the slots. We only have a certain number of computers in our rooms anyway. But not only that, parents, if you want to reach the heart of children, you want to make sure that the parents are informed and that the parents see all of the different great things that their students are doing. So with these Instagram accounts and other LinkedIn, which we also show them how to, create a LinkedIn, we, are able to share with parents and those in our communities what is happening at iCamp. So we also have a very busy IT staff who helps us to promote and push all of the accomplishments of our students. Next, please. And I'm just so hyped. So I apologize if my enthusiasm is kind of bursting through the screen. But also what we do is we have them here on campus. Nothing better than to formulate a STEM ID, develop a STEM ID, feel like you can go to college, feel like this is a place like that you belong when you're actually on campus yourselves. And I can tell you some of the students that I have here have been on campus so much that I believe that once they were accepted, they felt like they owned campus, right? So it's a part of giving them that opportunity to feel and experience what it is to be on a college campus and for us to be a Seminole, right? So they go to the Career Center, they went to the information or the innovation hub, they eat so much, they now know which lunch cafeteria they prefer to eat at, and they ask us and tell us which ones they want to eat at that day. But they're able to then experience the college campus, which is so important for them to know that college is a place for them and a college and a place where they belong. Next, please. In these different trips, they are able to meet with our career counselors, right, to explore STEM careers, to prepare for STEM majors. Some don't know what they want to be yet or what they want to do, but also technology and computing has so many facets and elements that they need to learn really what is their niche, where do they feel called, or where do they feel their skills align with the needs of the community, and where their needs and their ideas can best match what's needed. And so organizational skills, they get to create resumes, portfolios, they get to explore the SAT and ACT requirements through our collegiate advisors, right? Next slide. Of course, we have speakers that come. Because this is with the Army Educational Outreach Program, we have military speakers. We've had speakers from the Air Force, from the Army. We've had speakers that have come from the Navy to come. We've had some from the National Guard, and of course, ROTC. And so we've had also industry, right, come to speak with our students about the needs that they have and how to integrate their thoughts and ideas with the challenging issues and problem solving that is needed in industry today. Next, please. Of course, we also have STEM counselors. A lot of our students, or so many, come and they've never had parents who've gone to college. So programs such as FSU CARE, Triple S STEM, they are for students who are first generation in their families to go to college. And so we try to highlight programs that can kind of meet them where they're at, perhaps provide a bridge to that college experience, that freshman experience, perhaps provide additional tutoring that they might need, or help in math to overcome perhaps a course that they maybe just need a little help with. These programs specifically help in these areas. Next, please. And of course, finally, we do a lot of tracking of our students. So we want to see what's happened with our students. And that's why I tell them that when they're in our program, we just don't leave them alone. Now, we want to know how they're doing. We want to know whether they need another letter of recommendation. We are an area of support for our students. And if you can see here, this is them telling us that they've done something. Karen got accepted to the University of Florida. Rhonda, who's actually with us, will tell us, hey, I got a scholarship. We have students at TCC because there are pathways that are open for all of our students. And it doesn't matter how you get there. What mattered is that you get there, right? And so we want to provide those opportunities for our students. Next, please. Other examples you might see as winners of awards. Those, of course, help you with scholarships. We have, for example, Nave, who got honorable mention at a technology award. And also a winner was the student. So we both had the winner and the honorable mention for the best and brightest in our area. Next, please. And of course, this doesn't happen, of course, without funding. Obviously, if you really want an effective program, you need funding. And that really is key to ensure that the parents know that you're going to be there every single year. What do our funds provide? So we provide student scholarships. We actually pay for them to come each day. And a lot of people would say, why would you do that? Well, because some of these students need funds in the summer. And it's either they're working at Publix, or we can pay them something very nominal as a scholar and a scholarship so they can $25 a day. That's nothing, but they're there and they receive a check for coming. And so we ensure that they have something that they can use to buy those school supplies for, the fall. And for us, it's important because we don't have much attendance and issue. We don't have any attendance issues, honestly, as it comes to iCamp. They come every day, but as a result, they receive a very small stipend, but they receive a whole lot of intellectual capacity for performing at a very high technical level. We also pay for our college instructors. We pay our college ambassadors and our staff that help us promote the program. We also pay for software fees and materials, equipment that they may need, industry speakers who may come, and most of them come for free, honestly, but we do have some who we might have to pay for trips and field trips, snacks that we give, plus additional donations. By the way, our funding does not allow for like the cafeteria meal that we provide, but it does allow us to get other sponsors for those programs. So we've had Aramark provide funds for our students, and even some who will donate drinks, etc. Next slide, please. And so now it is time. This is the time you've been waiting for, I know, but I wanted to share a little bit of our program and what makes it so successful. Next, please. Our first person Oh, yes, the video. You know what? Let's go ahead and do the video first. And if you will, Tam, cue the video and let's share a little bit so they can see exactly what's happening at iCamp.
So iCamp is a 5-week project that we work every summer with high school kids in the Tallahassee area and get them training in technology and other skills related to technology, such as leadership and communication skills.
So I've been involved in iCamp since the very beginning, right? So iCamp, we've conducted our summer camps for approximately 5 years. So this is the 5th year, and we're having a lot of fun.
Yeah, so a lot of schools right now really don't have all the opportunities in STEM. Perhaps they don't have clubs. Perhaps they don't have opportunities in which they can kind of work with robots or those types of competitions. So we offer them a way to do that in the summer with others who are like them.
So I thought I was a very shy person, but I've been able to talk to more people and get to know myself better. People told me that I was kind of a communicative person or a social person. I never thought of myself that way. So they opened my eyes to a new part of myself.
I've learned like how important it is to like be around others and get people to check you, because I would not have realized a lot of my errors or fix them if it wasn't for other people.
I really love that the students, they become very close friends. They become a cohort. And after they leave us, they still talk with one another. They still pursue projects together. And I really like that they kind of take that time even after iCamp to see what they're doing, what in their careers, where they've gone. And it really is a really, really great success when we can say that almost all of our students have pursued a STEM field and or gotten some scholarship in some, some form.
Seeing their confidence build every single day with every single activity, hearing them help each other, right? Work with their peers to solve problems. It exposes them to technology. Having that exposure really opens the door for so many opportunities, right? And hopefully inspire them to want to maybe even major, right, in STEM.
Okay, so my future career goal is to be a software application developer. So using these skills like robotics and programming, I'll be able to hopefully be able to program apps in the future. And the communication skills that I'm building here is allowing me to learn how to talk in a professional setting.
Okay, so some of the things that I gained from this camp was just the knowledge, that knowing that I actually wanted to pursue a career in technology. I will be taking computer science in the fall at FAMU, and I believe that is one of the great things that I've learned from this camp is actually what I want to do in the future.
It allowed me to take part in the big world of technology and be a part of different industries like engineering, software development, IT, of course. So being able to code is very necessary in life, and it can show you how to do different things in places. We have also learned how to use coding as a career and inside other fields as well.
I liked how we would have to code and wire. We had to do like both parts. And I think building the useless box was probably my favorite, although infuriating sometimes.
I have gained an intense knowledge of technology and how it's used in the occupational world. I've also learned how to talk to people and be more sociable, how to do things that I'm not really comfortable with doing, but still being confident enough to try them.
Actually, we work with these students even throughout the year. So, but of course, they're loving and friendly, faces. We really do become a family here.
They're positive, they're engaged, they want to do something with their life. And if we can turn that spark or that attention into something more, that to me is the joy of being involved. And watching them get into the careers that we talked about in class is kind of exciting to see that full scale coming through, watching them go to that next level.
We really work together. And there are a lot of us that really, we express our feelings, our thoughts on a daily basis about our dreams, our career jobs, and those things that we really are passionate about. So one of the things about iCamp is that we will pursue things together, but that will really, really make an impact on the world.
Yay, go iCamp. I am so excited when I see this. And if you could, Tam, go ahead and cue back at the PowerPoint. I just want to introduce the panelists because I did put some things together that I know that they're not expecting. I pulled some photos from the archives to introduce them on today. Yes, it's so exciting. Our first panelist, her name is Rhonda Smith. And we had her for about 3 years before she came to Florida State University. And what I love about her is her dynamic abilities to lead. She's just a natural born leader. And if you can see, this was her email to me that says, "Good afternoon. This is Rhonda. I just received my acceptance letter to Florida State University." And see, these are the kinds of moments that lets Eve and I know that we're doing a good job, when we can see them moving from one area of their life to the next, accomplishing exactly what they wanted to do. And if you can see, Rhonda is very charismatic. She'd bring her love for cheerleading to camp. She would bring, and there's nothing, honestly, that she can't build. So she's quite a builder of anything. In fact, I tell you, I don't think even at an old age, I will suffer much with all the technicians and computer scientists and engineers that we have helped to move along. And it's so, so exciting. And Rhonda is the one who cannot go to the cafeteria without having a waffle. So if you love breakfast and you love waffles, this is who you need to come talk to today. All right. So next, please. And so another student, also from Godby High School, I should say, because Rhonda also is from Godby, is Alejandra Maglechi. And so she is fabulous, also a natural born leader. And if you can see here, she is not only a scholar, but she this year, as a freshman, is one of our ambassadors. So she went from 1 year being in the camp to the next year helping us to run the camp. A true testament to her leadership expertise. And what she did was she used the LinkedIn platform, which we helped and showed her to put together, and she just broadcasted her acceptance letter, accepted to Florida State University class of 2028, and was able to use so many of the different aspects that we taught her. So remember, we talked about FSU Care. She went, applied, and actually got in. So it's these kind of stories, that whole help of the community, that is integral to helping students move along in the pathway. She has declared computer science as her major. She'll be on the panel. And then last but not least, we have Sarah Woods. I'm hoping that she's been able to make it to the line. I know we have a storm here in Tallahassee, so I'm hoping she's able to come. But this young lady amazes me. She has a platform. One of the things we tell the young ladies and all who come to iCamp is, if you're going to be anything, be yourself. So she uses her platforms to do things and to speak about things that she absolutely loves, if you can tell. And so she is also extremely dynamic, a designer at heart. And what I love about her, something that she and I share, she's an ROTC cadet. And she comes from a history of military veterans, as I am a military veteran. So she says that she feels strongly that she's going to be in the U.S. Armed Forces. And how good to know that we have someone from Tallahassee, from this area, who is willing to go in and will be a future technologist in that field. So I can tell you right now, and this student is from Lincoln High School. And so without further ado, I want to bring in our panelists so that we can ask them questions about the strategies that they feel help them along the way. Yay, we got all three of them. I'm so excited. Hey girls, how you doing?
Hello. Hey Miss Faye, I'm good. How are you?
Doing good, doing good. Awesome. And so Yeah. So let's talk like we're back at iCamp. I don't want you to feel like you're talking to the whole world, but it's okay. So I want you each just to tell me a little bit, and I'm saying that 30 seconds about your background, what school you went to, any other information that you might want to provide. And don't speak at once. Just one of you go ahead and start.
Okay. So I grew up here in Tallahassee. I went to Pineview Elementary, Fairview Middle School, and also Gobby High School. And as you know, I'm currently at FSU.
Right.
Awesome.
I grew up in a little bit of everywhere, but I've been in Tallahassee for the last 5 years. I went to Gobby High School. I'm currently in FSU.
Yay! And Sarah?
So I've been in Tallahassee about 10 or 12 years. I grew up just around the Gainesville area, but I'm going to Lincoln High School. I'm expected class 2026.
Wow. And we've had Sarah since she's been in 8th grade when she was a rising 9th grader. And so it's just so awesome to see. And so let me ask, what K to 12 programs? Now, we're all from Tallahassee. And so that allows us to know that if you aspire to do something and to help students in STEM, that you can start right in our communities. Right in our communities there, we can help. And so my question to you is, what programs did you participate that helped you identify with a career in STEM? When did you know that, I can do this. I can do computing. I can be a computer scientist. I can be an engineer. It's something that I can do.
Funnily enough, it was my 10th grade year. I was taking a class called Introduction to Engineering Design. And I had a teacher, lovely teacher, she used to work with NASA. She introduced me to different concepts in engineering, and she also nominated me to go to FSU's iCamp. So it was a start there, and then the influx of information from iCamp, it was like, okay, there's a lot of options in this field, so I can do something here. Oof, goodness.
Awesome, Allie.
So it was when I was at Gobby. Well, I didn't do anything in elementary or middle school, but I was a part of the TSA, which is the Technology Students Association, Skills USA, Robotics Club, in the National Technical Honor Society. And it was when I was first, like maybe halfway through the engineering program at Gobby. I think we had the same teacher. Was it Miss Chan?
It was.
Yes. Yes. It's just the classes I was in, coding classes, and just the different programs that I was allowed to do.
So this is really interesting. Hold on, Sarah, just 1 second. It's really interesting that you mentioned the importance of teachers and technology, which we know there is a lack of women, but also teachers in STEM fields in our classrooms, and there is a lack of programs. And if you notice that these two of our students have already talked about the programmatic issues and the courses that they took and the various experiential learning opportunities that they had. You mentioned the robotics club and your teacher, Ms. Chan, etc., who were so integral to you engaging in these areas. Sarah, go ahead.
So my introduction to STEM was actually as early as 1st grade. I tested into the gifted program, and so there was a very heavy association with STEM in a particular class that we would be moved to. I remember building like solar cars in 5th grade and researching, something kid-friendly like marine animals. And when I had that foundational knowledge of like building things and designing things and learning about stuff, I felt myself like gravitating towards those classes in middle school and high school. In 8th grade, I actually took digital marketing / digital design. And that was the teacher that introduced me to FSU iCamp. And since then, it's just been like full steam ahead.
Absolutely great. And I love how you threw that in. So yeah, absolutely. And certainly you have a design, right? And there's so many areas in design and for technology, whether it's gaming, whether it's video design, whether it's, graphic design and marketing. All these areas are technology and in computing. And of course, you don't want me to design anything. That's just not my eye, but we need folks with a flavor, an eye for these types of things. Okay, so then what did iCamp do for your development? This is summer program. For sometimes it was 6 weeks, sometimes 4. It's kind of varied throughout the years. But what did that do to strengthen your readiness for STEM? Because a lot of people say, well, it's just a summer program. But does it help, and in what ways?
It absolutely helps. So along with the introduction to a variety of different concepts, finding out what I was interested in and all of that, there was also introduction to programs like outside of that. You mentioned that I was in the CARE program. I found that out through you. It's been a wonderful support into my college experience. There's also like the mingling with other people. Like there are people that are with me today that I would have never met if I had just stayed at Godby. So the connections, the encouraging me to get out of my shell, the soft skills that I've built, it's been very important to like my development as a leader and as a person.
Fantastic. And I just want to kind of piggyback off of what you're saying. I can't bring students in from all of the different high schools. And so maybe one of the few times that these students actually get to work together: Rickards, Godby, Lincoln, Sale, Florida State University Schools, FAMU, DRS, all coming because they have an interest in STEM. That is very valuable. Anyone else had any other thoughts about iCamp and how it helped?
I do. So iCamp was very fun for me, and it helped me with my presenting skills, leadership skills, and also my design skills. And one of the best things I did was create my website. I don't know if I still have it, but it was fun creating it.
Awesome.
Love making things.
So
Sarah?
I think the most valuable part of the camp for me has been exactly what Allie and you were talking about. Just the collaboration between people who are very like-minded, and the encouragement you get from other people who are not only looking to go into the STEM field, but are already in it via the ambassadors and the guest speakers.
Absolutely. Yes. And so certainly, again, that networking, that support system, the cohort experience, I find it very hard, difficult when you almost have to leave at that last day. Everyone's like huddled up, and I'm thinking, no, you got to go. I mean, I love you, but you got to go home. Right. And so, but it's always great to have everyone back. And so I do have a question. What role does leadership play? And I know that many of the years we've integrated leadership. Have you noticed that has helped you in any way in developing in areas as leaders?
So I can say that in the engineering program that I'm in now, like whenever we whenever we have to build a group for a project, I always take lead. I don't know why, but like I always want to be like on top of everything just to make sure everything goes smoothly.
That surprises me not, Rhonda. You are a natural born leader, right? If it's gonna be done right, you might as well lead it, right? Go.
I kind of developed like this general mindset: if the ship goes down, I go down. So I would rather be steering than But my personal feelings aside, in regards to leadership, I find this funny, seeing that as I was just one of your counselors. Being put in a leadership position it helps me now. So currently I'm running, I'm not running, but I'm collaborating on a project with some other people, and I've gotten it really organized, and like I've gotten it running smoothly, which is why I keep like looking off to the side. There's emails and stuff rolling in that show me that my work is successful. So being able to properly communicate and stuff is things that I learned being in the leadership position there, knowing when to delegate certain issues, knowing who to turn to, having good emotional awareness. all those things are things that I was able to practice in iCamp, both as a student and as a counselor, and I get to put those into practice today, right now.
Awesome. Awesome. Absolutely. And so you've now made it to college. What about you, Sarah? What are your thoughts as you're kind of navigating this world going now soon from high school to college?
So iCamp was actually my first introduction to a true like leadership role, taking charge on directing projects or getting something together, getting people to give input. And since I started the leadership train, I haven't been able to stop. I'm actually in 3 or 4 different leadership positions throughout my lifetime, or throughout my life as a whole, including in ROTC. I am the president of a club at my school, and I volunteer at a church as a leadership member. So the experiences that I've gotten to practice leadership and the learning that you and Mr. Ebe have given me or taught me to do has helped a lot, and I feel a lot more confident in leading people and myself.
So much for that. And I know E. Branderie is probably online listening. That's huge kudos to him, who teaches leadership each and every summer. Well, I think he missed just one, but he never stops infusing leadership into every type of activity, anything that needs to be submitted. He always ensures that leadership is among the top qualities and characteristics that they're developing. And so
if I remember correctly, the only time he missed leadership was last year. So I'm sure he'll squeeze it in next year.
Yes, he will. Yes, he will. And so I think I have 9 minutes because I think we went live a little late. Please let me know, Tam or anyone, if that's the case. But I want to make sure that we're on time and we don't go over. So I do want to ask questions. Tell us, in your thoughts, what do you think is needed then to get more women in STEM?
Most definitely.
Allie has something to say. Go ahead.
So Rhonda and I went to the same school, and we had the same teacher who introduced us to the same thing. The problem was that they put it all on that one person, and once she left, majority of things regarding STEM were like gone. Her class was gone, the club was gone, and the only thing we had was digital design, which is nice if that's what you want to do. I'm certified in visual design, and it's very useful for like side projects. But as far as like what I wanted to do mainly, I got majority of that information from iCamp. So more programs being there, like more clubs, more information being put out there, more awareness about what is available would absolutely help get more people into STEM. Because the problem isn't that they don't want to, they just don't know that the option is there.
So we talked about the low number of teachers, the low number of opportunities in the various areas, and whether it be programming, areas or aspects of engineering, but to have qualified teachers in those classrooms. And if not, we have to supplement that, but supplement that with courses and experiential learning opportunities and STEM for our students. Otherwise, how can you build a STEM ID with something that you've not experienced and or feel comfortable coming into a classroom at the collegiate level when you've not experienced some of the things that other students have in other areas? That's why it's vital in our communities that we provide such programs and have them available. So thank you so much for that, Allie. Anyone else have any other ideas of, what else might be needed to get more women in STEM?
Me. So I don't know if they still do it now, but when I was in high school, me and Miss Chan, we went to talk to some middle schools, but I don't know if they still do it now. So I would say more.
Once Miss Chan left, she took all of that with her.
So yeah, I would say more people in STEM going to talk to the middle schools and high schools.
That's really interesting because we need to, all of the research indicates that it's important to start our students at an early age to include elementary school and middle school. So this program just goes at the if you would, the very fruit at the bottom, right? So we're just kind of getting what we need in terms of the falling fruit that's just hanging, right? But what we need to do is really go down to the elementary and the middle school levels so that we can begin to infuse science, technology, and computing at earlier grades. And I think absolutely you've hit on that. Sarah, did you have any thoughts?
I actually agree exactly with Rhonda and Allie. As someone who did start from a very early age, that I was very blessed to have teachers that would get me into those programs and like sort of encourage me to do things in STEM.
I think the cruel irony of that is like after I saw Miss Chan leave, I had the pleasure of being taught by her husband in my dual enrollment classes. So instead of going down, he went up. So he was farther away from like our youth.
Mm-hmm.
Very interesting. And in our last question, I want to know about your greatest challenge moving forward. I mean, yes, you've made it into college. Yes, some of you are going to go into college. As you think about the challenges, because it's from level to level that we experience this, these types of hindrances. What challenge do you have, and how do you see yourself overcoming that challenge?
So personally, I'm always tiptoeing the line between like self-confidence and arrogance, which it doesn't like harmfully affect other people, but it's a little bit hindering to me. My personal experience with the CARE program is I've been very like frustrated because they don't do things the way I would prefer to do things. But I have to constantly remind myself that not everything that they're doing is for me. From an objective point of view, this CARE program is wonderful. It is beneficial to majority of the kids who come in and enter. So I have to keep reminding myself that not everything I see is for me. Not everything I see is meant to be beneficial for just me. It's meant to be beneficial to the general public. Like there are some kids who wouldn't be able to even come to college without this program. So it's getting perspective. Like if I had to summarize, like I had to get perspective. That's what I'm working on right now.
Absolutely. And Ali, I just know that there's nothing that you can't do. So we will keep on, speaking and of course, continue to work as we see all those things realize. I know that there's nothing that you can't do. And so any other thoughts on challenges that you see ahead?
I see one is motivation. Because like I know like every little thing you do is on your motivation, and I feel as if like you have stuff going on in your life and it's like not motivating whenever like you're sick or whatnot, and it's just like building that motivation to keep on going is really what challenges me.
Well, and know that if you ever need motivation, I'm really good at that, Rhonda. So I can certainly help, but I understand what you mean, right? These are not easy courses. There are a lot of requirements. There are a lot of things to do, and balancing all the things that happen in life with what you need to do is no small thing. So seriously, I understand that. And certainly we have to be each other's support system. Sarah.
So my biggest challenge is probably overdoing it, picking a lot of really hard classes all to do at one time, and thinking that I'm just going to breeze through it. I have a problem with studying.
I do believe you and me had a conversation about that before I left.
We did. So last year I took 3 AP classes. It was my sophomore year, and I skipped 2 of the prerequisites for them. But I made it out, but it was a tough year, and trying to learn the line between doing enough and doing too much. Trying to stretch myself in a healthy way. That's one of my biggest struggles.
Take it from someone who took a summer semester directly after graduating. Please, like, space it out just a little, just a smidge. Give yourself time to like rest. You are not a machine. You cannot do it all at the same time. I'm sure you can do it all, just like with time.
Isn't it interesting that I thought that was the advice that I gave to you? But of course, now you did it. And now that you did it, you learned. But it's okay. It's okay. At least now, right? When you know better, you do better. And I'm so glad that you're pushing that information out to your your younger peer group. So that is awesome. And so with that, I know we only have 5 minutes. I thought maybe Tam or Barbara could come. And if there are any questions from our audience or from anyone who's watching, I have thoroughly enjoyed myself. As you can see, I just love our students, and we are quite a family.
I have seen a question in the comments. Miss Stephanie asked if we were interested in mentoring. She said she would love to put us in connection with elementary school principals that would love having us mentor their younger female students.
Ooh, any thoughts?
I'm interested.
I would love to.
I would love to as well. That'll be very fun.
Awesome. Well, I know that we have a STARS program here at Florida State University. And what we do is we can have a lineup of those types of activities to go to our Associate Dean of Outreach, which is E. Brandery. And if we can just provide him with any of the schools or the opportunities, then not just Rhonda and Ali could participate, and Sarah, but a larger group of ambassadors that we have, an army of them ready to go and speak with our students at the elementary, middle, and high school level. And we even go to the two-year colleges such as TCC, or now TSC, and Pensacola State, and other colleges that are in our area. So certainly we love to take those on, because we want to meet the needs of our local pathway pipeline.
Well, Dr. Jones, I first and foremost, you had mentioned something about almost apologizing for your passion. I am just so impressed by your passion, and it just opens so many doors for people. And I think you're also very welcoming. And I think a lot of times for women and girls entering fields, the STEAM fields, the STEM fields, women in construction, whatever it is, just having a warm and welcoming commitment environment really just moves mountains. And I see Eve making a comment right now.
I knew he'd be on. Hey, Eve.
He's been
hey,
the comments throughout the whole thing. I just read them and smile.
Yeah. I mean, just the College of Communication and Information has done so much, because who are winners? Winners are diverse teams. So whether it's, in STEAM or anything, you have diversity, you have women, you just have a nice mix of people. That's what leads to success. And I have to say, I'm super impressed with all the students. And I also I can tell that you all are connecting with each other and collaborating, and collaboration is key. So bringing us all together. I mean, that's certainly something we want to do at Women Wednesdays, is just any way that we can help with building collaboration. It's just, it's like rocket fuel, speaking of, tech and things like that. Collaboration is rocket fuel to success for women. So Stephanie, let's hear from you.
Yeah, Paisley's now napping, so we don't have any craziness happening. But first, I wanted to say thank y'all so much. One, I want to come to iCamp. I love camps, summer camps in general. And yes, don't ever apologize for your passion, Dr. Jones. I'm like, oh my gosh, can I sign me up now? And I think, the exposure, Sarah, it's really wonderful to hear you got that exposure in first grade, but Rhonda and Ali, hearing that it wasn't until high school, I think that's where it lands. And so, yeah, I'm love to hear that you're interested in being like a one-on-one mentor, and to hear about the STARS program. So Dr. Jones, we can connect offline about trying to link up with that if you're wanting to do more one-on-one mentoring with young women for these incredible, I'm just blown away. Dr. Jones kind of was they're really she was talking y'all up, and we were like, okay, yeah, that's great. We're so excited. Oh, but way beyond the talk up. So yeah, I mean, just crushed it. And we're excited to continue the conversation. And so would love that all of y'all are local, and would love to be able to come back in the fall and do something in person, or do another webinar on a certain topic, or different things you're looking into. But it's just been wonderful to sit and listen. And I've been smiling ear to ear, learning and feeling your excitement come through from all of y'all about how much iCamp is. The only thing, Dr. Jones, I want to bring up about in the chat, we got some comments of, where could somebody go? And I think someone threw it in there, but if someone wanted to learn more about iCamp and potentially how to get students to come or how to recommend students or how to get people involved in iCamp, where could they go to learn more?
If you want a more common place to go find information, then you would probably go to Instagram. They have their own Instagram page over there. I can't recall the name at the moment. I'm sorry.
Okay, don't worry.
Don't you just love it when the student just comes in and answers the question? But that's just how we do it. You see, they are our lifeline, right? They're the ones who tell us who's next, and found someone else for you to where they even know where to go get the information. I love that.
I did help, like when Dr. Jones said that we have some spaces open. I was just like, I know some people who would love to show up, and now some of my friends are now infected with the FSU iCamp.
Right. I'm thinking too, like, again, diversity is age too. And it's super important that we as women, like we're women and girls, that we all come together, because together I know that we can make incredible things. Like I see so much talent in these wonderful women and young women that are with us today. So again, anything, and then, like you all think about it, anything in any way that we can support Commission on the Status of Women and Girls and all of you to really push and promote women in the STEAM fields, count us in. It's so important.
Absolutely. And I went ahead and if you go ahead, post but it's cci.fsu.edu/camps. And that will provide you information. Right now, it has the camp that just ended, but our Instagram is there, and you have my email and contact information on that site as well. Of course, we always start recruiting for our students in January. And by the way, our students are nominated by their teachers, unless, of course, I have some spaces that I need to fill. But we work directly with the teachers because we want to know, get that first pass from them. They rank, who really needs to come, who's ready for the opportunity, because we get to work once we're at iCamp. We have lots of fun, but we are about business at FSU iCamp because we really are about molding that next generation of technologists and scientists. So again, thank you again so much for having us. Thank you to my students and to our students. We're so very proud of you. It's not over. You can reach me by railway. You can reach me in your mind. You can't get rid of me even if you wanted to. And I know the same is for Ebe. And so again, thank you. I just love to see the growth in each of you.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you, Stephanie. Thank you, Barbara. Thank you, Tam, for making this happen.
Absolutely. Well, our goal is to keep the conversation going.
Okay, we'll be here.
And if you take a moment, everyone, to comment and thank all of our panelists, thank Dr. Jones, thanks Stephanie, thank everyone for being here today. Ladies, I suggest you go to the comments and just read through producing on the back end. I couldn't even keep up with putting them up on the screen because there was so much excitement. So
I've been reading this whole time, multitasking.
Yes, and there's quite a few questions about your availability to do other things as well. So definitely look into those opportunities. But thank you, everyone.
I promise I will make time.
Absolutely.
It's also okay to say no. Going back to what Sarah said.
See what I'm saying? What I'm saying, Stephanie? Yeah. I tell you, I try to tell them, but so I tried. The purpose was, and the process was, send it to Ebe. Let's get it all in the system, and then I promise you, we'll keep you as busy as you can be, Allie. I promise.
They're like, oh, let's go.
Yeah, they're ready.
I got an email from Dr. Jones, and I was just like, oh, I thought because I saw the email a couple days later. I was like, oh, I'm upset that I missed it. And she was like, no, it's on a Wednesday. Do you think you can make it? Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Well, we're glad you didn't say no to her this time, but it is okay to say no in the future if you need to for your personal mental health.
I am well acquainted with the word no. I have no reason.
But it's also. Yeah, but you're also tapping into the power of collaboration and working with others. So it's just been a great thing. And like any ideas, the sky's the limit. So like any ideas or ways, we can be supportive or helpful, don't hesitate. And we look forward to circling back.
Really quickly before I forget, Miss Carey said that the FSU students who are interested in mentoring, that she wanted them to reach out at tss@tallysci.org if we were interested. Goodness.
Yes. And like I said, go ahead and look back at those because there's just some great comments in there and opportunities. And we want to let everyone know that the Women Wednesday Speaker Series will kick off again this fall. So if you're interested in being a speaker, visit womenwednesdays.com or email info@womenwednesdays.com to find out more. Or is it hello@womenwednesdays.com?
Hello.
To find out more about how to be a part of our program this fall. So thank you everyone for being here, and please share this video. It will be right here on the Women Wednesdays page. Thank you to the Council on the Status of Women and Girls. It's there as well, and we're so glad that we were able to do and have such a powerful conversation with you here on our platform. And we look forward to the next one. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank
you.
Bye.
You can all stay. We got to tell them bye.
Oh.